got a dragon?
I had fears going into Fire Emblem Engage. It looked like a goofy anniversary game. Given the production ended in 2021, according to the Australian Classification Board, there's a good chance it was supposed to be a 30th anniversary game if COVID hadn't been in the way. But it wasn't just some spin-off. It was the next mainline game and the first proper Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch. And I saw inspiration drawn from Fire Emblem Three Houses, in which there was a more shallow base simulator than actual strategy RPG, and Fire Emblem Heroes, a gacha game that would instead rather take your money than be a decent game. But there was some hope. The actual strategy looked solid enough, with some new experimental design choices. I didn't expect Fire Emblem Engage to be this good, though.
Identify yourselves, or I will assume you are thieves. This time, I won't miss.
I'm the Divine Dragon from Lethos, not a thief.
I am Alfred, the heir to the throne of Firenze.
In Fire Emblem Engage, you play as the renameable and gender-selectable Divine Dragon Aliel. Why they're renameable is anyone's guess, because having everyone refer to them as the Divine One / Divine Dragon is a lot longer than just Aliel. Anyway, Alier has woken up from a 1,000-year-long sleep with a bit of amnesia, with their return highly anticipated. They have 3 stewards who sing their praises with every step, and after an overly long sequence where their mother gets killed, it's not a Fire Emblem game without dead parents, they have to ally with the various nations to stop the Fell Dragon from coming back. Unfortunately, the bad guys want to use the 12 magical emblem rings to bring him back with infinite power, and it's your job to grab them instead, putting him back in the ground. Combat is simple to explain. It's a tile and turn-based strategy game where you take it in phases to drag your units around the map and fight foes. The weapon triangle is back, swords are more effective against axes, axes are more effective against lances, and lances are more effective against swords. But this time there are bonuses. New to Engage, having a weapon triangle advantage upon attacking will inflict a break status upon the target, preventing them from making counterattacks until after the next turn, unless the phase ends. Healers can now also punch things, and punching inflicts break on archers, concealed weapon carriers, back from fates, and mages. There's also Smash, in which you use a heavy weapon that delays your attack to knock the opponent back a tile. The biggest shakeup in terms of battle strategy comes in the form of emblems. These rings have within them a protagonist from each mainline previous Fire Emblem game. They stand with you as a support character, granting some bonus passives, until you fill up the meter and engage with them in a tokusatsu-like transformation sequence. Then, for 3 turns, you'll be armed with new weapons, support skills, and powerful special attacks. It's stuff never before seen in Fire Emblem gameplay. Remember how in Three Houses the crests were these super important bloodlines that were the subject of all sorts of arranged marriages and political conflict? And then in battle they were like 20% chance to deal an extra 5 damage. You probably didn't even notice the crests go off if you played 3 herbs. In Fire Emblem Engage, these emblems are just as powerful as implied. You might think these will just be busted, you'll break the game in 2 with them. But instead, you're going to need them. 3 turns are just enough time to be a big deal against a boss fight, or to turn the tables when you're about to be overrun. It's immensely satisfying, but never powerful enough to be an I win button for an entire map. Additionally, some enemies have access to emblems themselves, making for gripping showdowns as you try to bait out the guy who could warp 10 tiles in to take out one of your party members with an extremely powerful magic attack. Enemies can do anything you can do. So, while the story is nothing extraordinary, the stakes tie into the gameplay itself. And when it wants to make an excellent set piece, you better believe it can. It all looks exceptionally good too, with fantastic attack and critical animations, dynamic music, stylized costumes per character, so even if you swap someone's class, that outfit still looks made for them. Fire Emblem Engage also does something I did not remotely expect going in, and that is to be perfectly balanced to classic mode. We haven't had one of these since the days of the DS. Fans of complex strategy RPGs may find themselves a bit baffled by the bright colors and more fantastical character designs, only for the game to throw incredibly challenging and interesting maps at you, then constantly give you new characters throughout the game which are powerful enough to stay on their own 2 feet without any investment, so you can use them out the gate as you'd like, or sub them in when one of your allies is tragically killed. Casual mode still exists as an option if you'd like to use that, and there is an undo turn item that works like Mila's turn wheel or Divine Pulse to give you proper leniency, because unlike Three Houses and Echoes, Engage can be utterly brutal and rewards players who go all in. I played this on hard classic difficulty with minimal undos and had no complaints. I haven't done maddening difficulty, I'm not that good yet. There is a hub world called the Somnial which you can enter between maps with some Three Houses-esque busywork, but it's largely optional. You can talk to your allies, take photos, run fitness minigames, buy and gift gifts, and order meals, but the meals are the only essential thing, and for it you get support bonuses and chapter stat boosts. If you like the extra features, there are bonus battles in the form of multi-round trials, and some fun little multiplayer maps where you take turns using the same army, or create defensive maps to send to other players. There are a bunch of support conversations between the characters, and they're decent enough. I think some characters like Alchrist and Etier lean a bit too hard into their particular gimmicks, but then others like Yunaka and Zelkov really get to excel. The characters are fun and varied, and you'll find your favorites to get needlessly attached to. And of course, if you want to get rid of a good 70% of the dialogue worshipping the player character, do what I did and kill off the initial stewards. You won't regret it. What I spent most of my time in the Somnial doing, however, was working out my units for their next battle. Each emblem has a crest that can be applied to one weapon for customization. Using an emblem in battle with a character will boost their bond, allowing that unit to inherit specific skills from emblem for SP, a resource gained from fighting enemies equipped with an emblem or a bond ring. You don't start with a complete set of emblems, but you can use the bond fragments obtained after each map to boost the character's bonds with emblems further, or to create bond rings. These rings, with a minor stat boost associated with a character from another Fire Emblem game, are obtained in a gacha pull-like system. This should have been an accessory store to get characters or skills you like, because the gacha just wastes your resources and you're better off spending it to just boost bond with your emblems. There are 12 of them after all, and each has short back and forths with every single playable character. Every single unit gets to talk to my boy Leaf! Fire Emblem Engage is a solid entry in the franchise. It's easily the best Fire Emblem game from the modern generation, Awakening onwards. And I enjoyed my time so much that I'm already returning for my second, more relaxed playthrough on maddening, so it's gonna take a while. Noisy Pixel is giving Fire Emblem Engage a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel's dedicated to bring you guys the best news reviews, previews, and more. Please stick around by ringing the bell and subscribing to stay up to date on all of our future content. We put out an absolutely absurd amount of videos all the time, so please stay tuned and let us know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see. And also let me know who your favorite characters are in Engage off the top if you haven't already touched it. This review's a bit late. But hey, it means you can see a lot of my girl Lapis in this video. She's like the best character. I love her so much.
Noisy Pixel.